morning, my quilty friends. Welcome back. It feels kind of crazy to turn around so quickly and make another video, but I have so much to show you. I couldn't wait. If you're new here, I'm so glad you found me. If you're an oldie but a goodie, welcome back. I'm glad you've come. This is Lala D Stitches, and this episode will be a quilting bee. We've got a lot of quilty goodness to go through. I did most of my catch up in yesterday's floss tube video, so I guess to summarize, in case you haven't watched that one, life is good. We've had adventures. We've had some beautiful weather here. It's a gorgeous day. It is mid-70s and blue skies and happy weather. I was just watching Fiber Arts Amy a little bit ago, and she mentioned that they've been having a heat wave and blah. That sucks. I'm so sorry for those of you that are caught up in that. I am grateful that we've had a relatively mild summer this year. So, I don't know, maybe that's a little braggy. If it is, I'm sorry. But it's a good day today. It's a good day. I am all ready to go. So let's not waste any time. We're just going to jump right into it because I have oodles and oodles of goodies. Wet the whistle and let's jump into it. So the first thing I have is I have not one, not two, but three quilt tops to show you. I did it. I met my goal. In fact, I surpassed it, and I have 3 quilt tops to show you. So I'm going to scoot my chair out of the way and maybe angle the, well, we'll see how it is. I'm going to show them to you. Ooh, this is so fun. Scoot my chair in so I don't trip on it, because that would totally be something I would do. So I'll do it in order that I finished them. The first one is my Pierre quilt, which it's been in the works. If you're new, it's been in the works for years, and is a new version of an old favorite that has worn out. And anyway, it's a bit wild, but it's totally happy. Just think like flower explosion. That's what it makes me think of, a very happy garden. So it's king size. I don't know if I can show the whole thing effectively. Oh, my chair's in the way. Let me scoot that over here, and I'll just try not to trip on it. All right, a little rearranging here. Okay. Got weird light balance right now, but there it is. So it has, like I said, it's king size. I enlarged it. The first one I did, was, I think it's 2x3 or 3x4 or something like this. I was originally planning on doing 20 blocks to make it big, and as I got closer to the end, I was like, oh my goodness, this is going to be gargantuan. It'll be so huge. And I'm sure when I planned it, I thought, oh, drape over the edge, but it's still going to drape. It's going to be fine. I eliminated a whole row, which of course I had already sewn on. That's okay. I think I'll throw it down like an offset on the backing, and so it doesn't have to match up with anything, and that'll be a really pretty little flip side to the back to have a row of the stars going through it. Anyways, I'm super tickled by it. I think it's beautiful. There's still one more stage to go on this. So it has along, let's see, which way is the top? The top has a more narrow border. There we go. So the narrow border goes at the head of the bed, and then along the other 3 sides is a row of, I don't know, they look like snow cones to me. In the original, it was a scalloped edge. I am squaring those off so it will be triangles. And I I went super scrappy with my stars. You can tell there's no color order. It was just whatever came to hand, as long as it didn't like completely turn me off. I just went with it. But, excuse me one second. For the border, here's the triangles. I am going to stick to a rainbow of all the colors in the stars. Which I think will be really, really pretty. I think it will make a nice frame of color, like organized color around the edge. It took some math to figure out how many I needed to do to, you know, do the whole thing. But I think I've got it squared away, and that'll be a nice final edge to everything. And I have no idea what color I'll bind it, but we'll deal with that when I get to it. There's still a lot to do till then. So it's a quilt top. Technically, I could quilt and bind it at this point, but there's, I guess, technically one more step to go before it's officially finished. Either way, it's great progress. I was very excited to get it all together. I don't know, there's something very satisfying about a project with so many pieces that you've been working on. It's been in your head for a long time, and it finally becoming something to look at. Okay, my next top is denim and lace, which was a bit of an impromptu start. I did not plan on doing this one this year. It wasn't in my, I didn't even have the pattern until Memorial Day, I think it was. Wasn't it somewhere around there? And then I found it and I loved working on it, so it took over. I just did it. And it is complete. Ouch, pin. Oh, that's the top. Ugh. I call it my indigo stars. And it's big too. I added an extra row so that I could lay it on my bed. It's not a full, we have a king size bed, and it's not a full king, but it's big enough that it will definitely cover the top. And I just had this vision of my indigo quilt with a companion like red and white quilt, and that would be like patriotic without being flags, you know? I think it would be pretty. Maybe. Who knows? Because then you could take either one, and like this will be a great wintry quilt to drape over the bed or the couch or something. And I chose low volumes for the background. I mean, low volumes, some of them, that's pretty busy. And that one is a larger scale print, so it reads pretty solid in some of them. But I've done this for a few of my quilts, and I love the effect it gives, just that subtle movement. But really the feature moment is the stars. Yay! And I already have backing for this one. It's over here. So the backing I bought before this was even close to a top. But it's that larger scale print that's in the top. So that'll be the backing. And I love these little pops of gold in it. It's so pretty. And then this is the binding, which of course will just be a tiny little strip. But it kind of picked up all the levels of blue that I had in my scrappy stars. So it's ready to go. I just need a batting for it, and I can pin and quilt to my heart's content. I'm pretty excited. Yay! Okay, and the final one, I didn't think I was even going to try to, hair in my mouth. I didn't think I was even going to try to finish it until this month. But when I got working on it, I couldn't, once I started, I couldn't stop. I couldn't put it down. So, here's Long Time Gone by Jen Kingwell, and it has been, I started this one 4 years ago in 2019, and it's just been a slow trickle until this year, and I've really focused on it. And oh my goodness, I think this is my favorite one. Can you see it all? I need to be like 4 inches taller. Oh, I can't believe it's done. I love it so, so much. It wound up being better than I even thought it would be when I laid it out on the floor last month. And with the light coming through, doesn't it look kind of like stained glass? That's kind of fun. Oh, I just love it. And I am really happy with my sashing. I'd kind of debated between a more charcoaly black in the same print. You can see it's a polka dotted, and there's lots of different colors in it. And I'd settled on the brown because I thought it paired really nicely with the border and just kind of picked up the warmth of the colors that I wanted. And I'm really glad that I went that way, because I think the black, which would have read more in that range of color, would have been really strong. So yay for feeling good about choices. I really get a tickle out of, so you can see I went chromatic through, chromatic, is that the right way? It's a range of color through my checkerboards. They just had to be scrappy, and this one was like a last minute throw together because I'd forgotten to cut pieces for it. But I love them. They just became part of the quilt instead of kind of standing out, the little checkerboards, which is what I was hoping for. Anyways, yay! So yesterday I went to the quilt shop, and I actually showed this to my husband, and I was like, look at this, I'm so excited. And he was like, wow, I really like that quilt, which I have a wonderful husband. I love him dearly, but he doesn't get super excited about my quilts, certainly not to my level of excitement. And so to have him be like really pleased with one, I was like, that's so fun. That's so fun. And so I was like, so can I go get backing for it so I can finish it? And he's like, yeah, I think you should. And that was really fun. Anyway, so the backing I chose, my local shop doesn't have a ton of boutiques. They have a good shelf of it, but not a ton. So when I found this one, I was really happy with it. Oh my goodness, it just all unraveled. This is it, which has brown in it. It's not showing super well, but I think it'll be really pretty on the back. Yeah, I think it'll be good. When I took it up, I was like, I think I've got enough, but I've got a few backups if it doesn't measure out to the amount I needed. And we got super lucky, and there was just enough. I took the rest of the bolt. So I'm good to go on this one. I've got a batting for it. I need to give it one more press because I've kind of opened it and manhandled it a little bit while I've been showing people. But I'm ready to, oh my gosh, my nose. Sorry. I am ready to quilt this, and I want to quilt it ASAP. In fact, on my plans, quilting is involved in this month's plans. So hopefully when I come back to either later this month or at the start of October, I will have a completely quilted, finished, bound quilt. The binding is the same brown as the sashing here. So really, really stoked about it. Now I'm gonna go put these on my ironing board and tuck my chair back up so I can sit. back to the normal routine here. Oh, that was so fun. It was so exciting to find my spot. So exciting, and I just feel so accomplished. I don't know. I hadn't finished any large projects all year, and so it feels really good to make way, especially since 2 of them have been in the works for a long time. So yeah, I'm really glad. I'm happy. And I was really excited to share it with everybody. Okay, let me calm my heart rate up and down and enthusiasm. Okay, so my next project that I worked on, after I finished Long Time Gone, I was like, oh, I've got to pick up my Fab Farm again because I had goals. I had goals for that too. Let me see if I can find my main picture. Oh, I see where it is. Just so that if you don't know it, oh my goodness, this is the episode where everybody sees my backside 5 times. I'm so sorry. Anyway, hopefully I won't have to get up anymore. Where's the picture? The cover. Oh, that's right. So that's one thing about staple bound books is sometimes, especially with these where I'm turning to the pages, and like some of the larger blocks have pattern pages on 2 or 3 pages, and then you flip clear to the back for the final assembly and everything. Anyways, the book has gotten opened and closed so many times that the cover has plumb popped off of the rest of the book. And I'm careful with it too, but the staples just, I'm sure it's less expensive to bind them this way. And that's great. That's great. I don't have a problem with it, but they do tend to fall off, at least in my experience. So this is Fab Farm by Elizabeth Hartman. And it's one of those, again, not planned, but I adore it, quilts. I saw it in the quilt shop earlier this year. Sometime in winter, spring transition. So it just hit the sweet spot of life and animals and growth and flowers and bees buzz, and it just made me happy. So I started it. When did I start it, you guys? Did I start it in like May? I don't remember. Anyways, I started it sometime, and I have done the goats, and I have done the horses, and I've done the cows, though I have one goat whose eyes I need to shift because people so kindly pointed out, and you really were nice about it, because I hadn't noticed it at all. One of my eyes on the goats I had flipped so that the forehead is in the wrong spot. Anyways, the eyes are like in the wrong spot. And it's not like this terminal error or anything, but it certainly changes the expression on the goat, and so I'm going to go back and switch it. But yeah, I'm making good progress. I've kind of been doing an average of 1 animal a month, and that's worked out really well because they're pretty involved. Like the cows have so many pieces. They have so many pieces. It's crazy. So this month I did all 4 chickens, and then I started on the bees, which were just flying along until I caught that cold. I would have had them done otherwise. Let me get my board out. And I did find, where did it go? A clip. Yesterday when I was showing cross stitch, we did a whip parade, and I kept thinking, and I think I even said at one point, I just need a clip because I was using my face to hold things up on the board while I motioned like Vanna White. And anyways, I found a clip. So now I don't have to talk about it. I can just show you. Though, of course, here I am talking about it. Whatever, it's fine. So here's chicken number 1, which is one of my favorites. They're so cute. They have such personality. And they're all so different. Here's the second chicken. I did 2 golden chickens and 2 gray-black chickens, which is fun because there's so many varieties of chickens. Ooh, I love this one. It's kind of like a little retro chicken. I don't know, something about the flowers, just flower power. I don't know. So cute. In fact, that one might be my favorite one. But I love this one too, and it really turned out how I'd hoped. The larger prints, I had hoped that you would get these little bloom moments in them, and it totally happened, both with the gray and with the golden one. You just kind of get that large scale print in there. Anyways, they were super fun to do, and the first one on these animals, it doesn't even matter what animal it is, they're always a bit, you're book to sewing machine, and it's a learning process. By the time you get to the 4th one, it's like it just goes. Unless you sew the eyes on upside down. But I've never done that. And here are the bees, which well, there goes the clip. That's okay. These ones are tiny. They're so cute and they go so fast. The other 2 will be identical to these 2. So there will be 2 with the flowers and 2 with the not white flowers. I guess they both have white flowers. Never mind. Anyways, the different wings. So these ones have the kind of chicken fence wings, and this has hexagons on it, which I loved for the honeycomb kind of connection. Super fun. Super fun. So I made good progress on that, despite... I guess I should also mention, this is not 1 month sewing. I think the last time we did a quilting bee was at the end of June or the very start of July. So there, that's the honest truth. I did not whip out 3 quilt tops and 6 blocks in 3.5 weeks. That with traveling and illness. So really like 2 weeks. That's not how it worked. Oh, let's see. Where's a good spot for these? I'll slide them on top of this box. I don't want them to get rankly. Okay, perfect. So next time you see them, they'll be on the wall back there, which is my quasi project wall. You can kind of see it over there by the ironing board. Yeah, it works well. Kind of just gives me a little glimpse into what projects I'm working on there. Okay, so that is everything I did. I had hoped to get project bags made. They're still sitting in a stack. But I did get vinyl yesterday. That's what slowed me down, was I only wound up having 1 square of project vinyl. And I like, for most of my bags anyways, I like a vinyl front bag. Though I'm going to try to make a few... Whew, okay, sorry about that. I just got this really intense tickle in my throat and had to pause. It's all good. I'm back. What was I saying? Project bags. Oh, I'm going to try to make a few like quilted front and back bags with the edges of... I'll have extra batting from the size I have in my closet after I quilt long time gone. But it won't be enough to really do... I mean, I could probably do a runner or something like that, but it won't be enough to do another quilt. So I thought I might use some of that batting to make some softer project bags that are just quilted front and back. I have a few like that, and they're great. There's nothing wrong with them. So I typically... Here, I'll show you. I typically like to use... How about a side note, a little tangent here? I like to use Soft and Stable in my bags, which is kind of a foam batting. It has a little bit more structure and helps them stand up. I put them in my little cubbies back here and gives them some body. And that it's worked really well for me. And then I just do the vinyl front. Oh my gosh, aren't these chickens hilarious? So that's going to be a little preview there of one project bag. So, but I'm going to try the quilted ones because, you know, it was frustrating to have all these bags cut out and then not be able to do anything until I got some missing components. So, and that was literally all I was missing was vinyl. I don't know. Anyway, so I plan to get those in motion, if not completed this month, because I have projects to fill them with. Okay, so, oh, that's the other thing. This is a little rattly, but I did pull wool choices for, I showed you in this in my last quilting bee. This is Buttermilk Basin Vintage Trucks Through the Year, October, which I've had in my stash for a bajillion years, and not literally a bajillion, but I think it's so cute. And I have a little clip that I made. My goal was to have it picked out and cut out and pressed down before this video and then life. So I picked out wools, which I have isolated from the main collection. And I did trace my shapes onto my soft fuse, which is my fusible of choice. I won't roll that back up. That'll be noisy. I shouldn't have unrolled it. Toss. Okay. No, come off. Okay. Anyway, so, I mean, it's easy peasy at this point to press them onto my wools and then sit in front of the television and cut them out, or in front of floss tube or something in here, and then be ready to fuse it down. I'm going to finish mine as a pillow instead of, you can kind of see in the picture, they have a large, like tin plate or something like that. And that's an adorable finish, but I neither have the plate nor a place to put a plate. And if I remember right, we looked into the plates when I was working at my last quilt shop, and they're like $50. They're not cheap at all. So I will not be getting a plate, though it's an adorable idea, and they have all 12 months. So, and I certainly spend $50 other places. I don't know. I just like the idea of a pillow. I think it'll be cute, and it'll go on my couch, and I don't have any Halloween pillows, so now I will. Anyways, I started to say, I made a little clip when I was picking out my fabrics, because somebody had asked if I could show the process, and I was in the midst of my laryngitis, like the tail end of my, not the midst of the tail end of my laryngitis. So I will re-listen to that with healthy brain, and if it is good, I will include a little insert here. That's my little signal. And if it is really hard to hear or understand because my voice was what it was, I will just skip it. I don't know. I'm sure there's a way. Maybe I'll ask my husband. He's better at computers than me. But I'm sure there's a way to like edit out the voice and put a new voice over it. And if we can figure out a way, and I don't know, I'll think about trying that. But I'm not going to make any promises. Anyways, I just wanted to say I did try. Hi everybody. I just wanted to make a quick video to insert into my next quilting bee. I had requests. Oh, please excuse my voice. I've had the cold from hell. And oh my goodness, it's getting better. But my voice is affected by it. Anyway, so I hope you can hear me okay. My ears are super plugged, so I can't hear me okay. But I'm in my sewing room playing around because I feel good enough to be doing that. So I wanted to walk you through kind of my process in getting started on my next wool applique project, as I had requests for that. So I'm going to flip the camera around here and show you the good stuff. Let's see if I can figure out how to do that. Nope, I've got to do a different video. Okay, so we'll just link them together. Okay, so here's my workspace. This is what I'm working on. It's Buttermilk Basin, Vintage Trucks Through the Year, October. It's absolutely darling. I've had it in my, my pattern stash, if you will, for quite some time now. I just think it's so cute. Anyways, it's the year I'm gonna make it. The time has finally come. So this is done on a wool, it's wool applique on a wool background. And I'm actually gonna do mine on a cotton background. So I found in my stash this adorable, what is it? I don't know if it has information. Andover fabrics. That's all I've got. I've had it again for a long time. It's so cute though, and I think it'll play really seasonal with everything else. So you can notice my background's a little more tan than theirs, but I like that. I like kind of the vintage, almost Edgar Allan Poe kind of Halloween vibes. So this fits the more, it fits that vibe. It's going to work. So what I'm going to do differently is my truck is actually going to be this, it's going to read black, but it has kind of a midnight, almost green to it. It's really neat. So that's going to be my truck. And this is my tree, great texture in that. My house I'm gonna make purple because I love incorporating a good royal purple in my Halloween projects. And I've done that through the years, so it'll make everything more cohesive with what I already have. This will be, there's a little bit of grass, and we've got some stems. So on the pumpkins, so I'm gonna have variegated stems and grass and stuff. I might go with this for the grass. It's got such a neat texture to it. Let's see, what else? So my pumpkins, you can see they've got basically 2 colors of pumpkins. That's way too simple for me apparently. So I have a variety of pumpkin colors, which will be really fun. This is the same texture as the same base wool as this is, but it reads a little bit more yellow, so that's going to be my moon, and then these will all be pumpkins. And this I think is going to be my door, and maybe the fenders. I don't know, I haven't really chosen a fender color. I might go with this really fun plaid as a fender. That could be great. Then we've got our bats and our tombstone, and then the ghosts and the bones. So you'll notice if you were to pull this against like my table here, this is a cream. That's really typical with good hand-dyed wools, is that they're cream, not solid white. I often had questions, well, do you have any white? And the thing is, wool is not pure white in nature. It's just not. So getting a pure wool, pure white with like we picture white in wool really requires some hardcore bleaching to it, and it can damage the wool. So you don't see a true pure white very often. This is about as white as you ever get. But you'll notice in a project, when you back up from that, you're not going to say, oh, those ghosts aren't white. It's totally going to read as white. And it's kind of the magic of wool. This is the same thing, even on their sample. I'm sure that's a cream. It's just a very fair cream, a very light one. So it reads as white on their project, even though it's not pure white. It's all hand-dyed wool. So yeah, so there's my prep. I've got my shapes all traced onto my soft fuse. Soft fuse is my favorite fusible for wool applique. It's far lighter weight. The glue is very delicate on the back, but that makes it so that your project isn't stiff and it's difficult to stitch through. So I prefer personally the soft fuse for my projects. A comparable product would be Flexi Fuse. It's a little bit heavier, but very close. And I find it much easier to work with as far as stitching and final product, like how I like it to feel, than something like Heat and Bond or Steam a Seam. Even Steam a Seam Light has a lot of glue on the back of it. So the glue likes to fall off, so that's why these aren't, because it's so delicate, it likes to fall off the paper. So that's why these aren't cut apart until I'm ready to actually onto the wool. So that's the next step, is to cut these all out individually and then gently fuse them to my wool, and then I'll cut those out again on the line, and I'll be ready to actually fuse down onto my background at that point, and we'll be ready to rock and roll with stitching in September. So yeah, that's how I do it. I hope this is helpful. But I love the idea of kind of showing you the processes, because I know picking out colors and kind of playing with that can be stressful for some people. In fact, I have another project that I'm about to start that includes a coloring process, and I'm trying to think of a way that I could like mount my phone to my lamp or something so that I could show you that process as well, and start doing potentially little tutorials here and there. I don't want to be a tutorial page necessarily, but because there are a lot of good tutorials out there. People do a really good job. But I'm happy to share what I know as much as I can. So there you go. Oh yeah, so that's everything we talked about last time. I'm going to tuck my little board away. Okay, I'm going to make a big noise and tuck my little board away. And then I've got some haul to share with you. A couple of new projects and a reset on what I'll be working on. So we'll do haul and then we'll go into plans, because they kind of meld into one another, as they so often do. But I've been to 2 quilt shops since we met last. I went shopping with my friend after we went to the cross stitch store, which was such a fun day, even though I could barely speak, and they were playing excellent music in the quilt shop, and I just wanted to sing along, but it was an adventurous sound that came out of me when I tried. So I didn't try anymore. But we did find some goodies. This Tilda fabric, I think, is just so beautiful. So beautiful. And I got a companion fabric to go with it. And that will be a project bag. That's what I instantly envisioned. And in fact, I think my sister would really like this. I might make a matching project bag at the same time. And I don't think she watches these. If you watch these, stop watching for like 5 minutes. Might be a Christmas present. But I don't think she does. She's got a new baby. Who has time to watch FlossTube? Or maybe she does have time. I don't know. I'm rambling. Anyways, I thought that was beautiful. And then I found this one, which is a cotton and steel from Angela Corti. It's so beautiful. And then I found this one, which is not from the same line. It's a Riley Blake. But I thought it looked nice with it and would make a really pretty project bag. And I think it will be for my birthday stitches, which are both kind of, well, at least the one is lavender themed. So it would look really pretty in it. And that is what I got that day. That is what I got that day. Because I'd already spent some money at the cross store, so I was trying to be good. Let's see. I'll just put those there. Okay, so then last week, oh my gosh, that feels like a lifetime ago already. Life has been so fast paced for the last 2 weeks that it's just flown by. But I was in Utah, and my sister left her sweet little baby girl. She is the cutest. She's the cutest. I will insert a picture somewhere. I'm pretty sure I can just I can figure that out. That I can do. That's my level of editing skills. But she's just a doll. She is so cute. She's my little heartthrob. And we left her with her dad, and my sister and I ran off to downtown Logan in the historic district, and they have the cutest little shops down there. They've got a great quilt shop. They had a cute little coffee shop. We went into kind of like a gemstone store where I found the most beautiful stones. Anyways, it was a really fun afternoon. We ran away for a few hours, and I had fun at that store because we didn't go to any other stores as far as crafts go. So here is my haul from there. I found this gorgeous autumn fabric, which I'm sure is a Hartman or something. I did not get the selvage edge with words, but it's stunning. I think it's so beautiful. And again, I just want a project bag out of it. I want a table runner or something out of it, but they didn't have it on the bolt anymore. It was only on in a fat quarter. And then this companion piece to go with it, which is, I don't know, I think it's so beautiful. And I could put like Autumn at Hawker & Hollow in it or something. I don't know. Just beautiful. So I got those. And then I got a couple cute little Halloween ones because I have so many Halloween projects. So this is a little fig tree. Did a Halloween line called Halloween Figs a few years ago, and then they released it. And this year they released a companion line that is so pretty. It's so pretty. It doesn't have to be. It's not like this Halloween. It's just a nod to the Halloween color palette, really. But it has really sweet, this is even gray, it's not black, which I chose specifically because gray, not black. Isn't this a hoot? It says wolfbane, witchwort oil, potions, frogs, and legs. Anyways, cute little Halloween prints. I think it'll be a fun little project bag. And I'll make it a smaller one because I only got quarter yards. I normally these days I've liked a larger project bag, but some of my Halloween projects are just small. So a smaller bag will be appropriate. Anyways, all the details you didn't need. Okay, so then we wandered by their batik section, and it was good. It wasn't huge, but it was, every single piece in there was like, wow. If you love batiks, you would have loved it. And I just finished Long Time Gone, which was my batik quilt. And so my brain is moving on into, there's a hole in the batik quilt world of my brain, and I'm working on filling it. I don't have any patterns chosen yet, though I'm thinking of a few. Oh, I forgot. Well, okay, I'll come back to it. I forgot to do featured designer. We'll tack it on at the end. That way, if you're not interested, you don't have to watch it. But if you want to watch it, it'll be a fun little pattern parade. Anyways, we saw these fabrics, and my palette was like, okay, that's where we're going. It's Sailor Moon. Like, it's going to be so fun. This one is I just love it. It's so beautiful. And batiks, these are fabrics that are better opened up. So let me do that. It's so pretty. So I loved this one, and then we saw these ones. Oh, this one. That one is, this is the one that really made us. And then we've got this. This is like shooting stars. It's like a galaxy. It's so pretty. Ah! So this is the beginnings. Now I need to dive into my batik boxes, because that is plural. And start pulling some more, and then have a fun afternoon going through all my patterns and see which one will fit the vibe. Anyways, it's going to be super fun. I'm really excited. I won't start this until next year. It'll probably be, January, February when I jump into that, because I have oodles of other fun things to do in the meantime. But I'm excited about the start. Okay, the last thing we got is a new book that I hadn't seen. Pillow Talk by Adita Sitar. She's the one of the laundry basket designers. I've got to slow down. I just get so excited that my mouth can't keep up with my brain. Just take a drink. Take a breath. Speak like a normal person. Anyways, this, I love pillows. I have a whole board on my Pinterest page called Pillow Frosting, because I love accent pillows to kind of swap out through the year. And I used to make them, I just stuffed them myself when I made them. But in the last year or so, I've realized that pillows take a lot of space to store. And I got some really good pillow forms from IKEA, of all places. And so I've started making pillow shams to go on the same pillow forms. And then the shams are much easier to store. They take up far less space, which is great. But ideas are never in short supply, I guess, right? This is a really cute book. Cute presentation. And I don't know if she has a gallery page. Oh yes, there we go, at the back. Here's what's in it. And as my sister and I were looking through it, we just didn't even see one that we didn't like. I've already done one almost identical to that. So I won't be doing the American flag, just because it would be redundant to have two sitting next to each other. But I love all of them. They're so cute. They're so fun. And some of the chromatic ones, where's the one? There must be another page. Oh no, it's this one. This one, they did a rainbow, which I love. But we also thought any of these rainbow ones could just be chromatic within one color range. So it could be all browns, various levels of brown, or greens, or blues, or whatever your favorite color is, or whatever matches your room. This one would be the same way. And they would be so different. And so striking to do that way. Anyways, fun book, Pillow Talk. 25 pillows. Yeah, I was really fun. My sister and I, oh, excuse me, my goodness, swallowing air. Both bought one. So we might have to set up a thing where we make them together, but from a distance. That would be really fun. It would make a really fun pillow of the month club too. This book makes my brain have all these ideas. Anyway, so that's my haul. And I guess there was a little bit more from yesterday, but that goes into projects. So let's go into my plans and projects, and you'll see those as they come up. Move my mouse here without turning things off. Okay, so if you've been with me long, you know I like my binder of organization, because my brain has a mind of its own. That's kind of a funny thing. My brain has a mind of its own. I mean, it kind of does. Where is my original cover page? Well, fiddlesticks. It's not right up at the front. Thought it was. the 2023. Anyways, I'll just show you the new one instead. So at the start of the year, this is my binder, just simple, but I keep my projects with their info and kind of what I'm doing. This is a quilt I'm designing. And I kind of track things through that. So I've got my color pages, my palettes. This is Fab Farm. I've done check marks on what I've completed, and it just helps me keep track of like where I am, what I have left to do, and kind of what my goals are. So I had done one in January for the year, and I've done pretty good at sticking to that with some adjustments as we go. And I thought, okay, I'm ready to work on something else. I'm ready to go seasonal. So I made a new sheet for autumn plans. And on that, I have my Hexie pillows, which I honestly had hoped to get all prepped out by this time. Life happens. It's fine. I did find a fun background fabric for them. So this cool, super textured black. But it has a white background that kind of reads different colors. And I have two little 2.5-inch square packs that I've been hoarding like a dragon. And I'll just do kind of a little flip through. I think those will look good with that. And I'll just pick my favorites, you know, and obviously not do those. Some of the blacks would probably show maybe as a center ring or something like that, just not on the edge. Anyway, so we'll work with both packs, which was a challenge to find a neutral enough base that would work with an 1800s reproduction fabric and a very modern holiday pack. But I did. I've got them. I'm ready to rock and roll. So one afternoon, I'll just assign one afternoon of my stitching time to prepping this. And I might even prep the other pillow the same day. I love this pattern. It's by Modern Handcraft. I bought it digitally and printed it off years ago and made rainbow pillows, which are, other than the fact that they don't zip down the back, are my favorite ones. But I'll make these ones zip down the back so that they actually stay on the pillow form nicely. But I love them. They're super easy. And for hexagons, there's no hand stitching. It's, you glue them, you take out the papers, you glue it down, you stitch over it. It's great. And they've held up really well. And my husband is not gentle with pillows. He uses them. So I'm excited to make a new version of them. That'll be fun to kind of revisit that pattern. So that's on my list. Where should I put this? Here. There we go. The next one is a whip, I guess, is what we can call it. It's a whip. I've been working on it for a couple of years. And I've got my main picture somewhere. Oh, right here. Halloween Fig, which I did as a block of the month through my quilt shop. And I did one block and then fell off the bandwagon because life was crazy busy. But that's okay. They wait for me, and here I am 3.5 years later making good progress on it. I think I've done about half of the blocks at this point. I prepped these applique blocks, and I'm debating right now whether or not I will do fusible applique and just do a straight stitch around the edge, or if I will do needle turn applique, which I love the finish of, but I'm not sure I want to commit to. The sample we had at the store was just edge stitched on the machine, and it was great. I had no complaints about it. So I might go that way just for leaving my hand stitching time open to other things. Anyways, so that will be in the rotation. That's the word I'm looking for. that will be in the rotation for the next 2 months, September and October. And then the next one is what I'm stitching with my sister. It's so fun to do it with her because we've got the same basic color palette, but we're doing our blocks very differently from each other, working off of the same pattern. So this is called Spooky Halloween by Bunny Hill Designs. I love their patterns. I have, what is it, Quiet as a Mouse, or it's a Christmas one with all these little mice, and it's, you know, loosely, very loosely, based off of the Christmas story. Not the Christmas story. Anyways, not a creature with stirring, not even a mouse. You know, that one. Perry Como. Anyways, they have really cute designs. I also have Raining Cats and Dogs and a couple others that I just fell in love with, and who knows when I'll get to them. But I think I have all of the pieced blocks done on this one, and so I'm just down to the applique blocks, and I'm doing a mixture of cotton and wool, kind of throwing different textures in. So that's pretty fun. That will be getting some attention. What's next on it? Hocus Pocusville, which I did not bring in here, but it's a Crabapple Hill Hocus Pocusville. It's all black work. Yeah, that's so funny because I even gathered Crabapple Hill is my pattern feature this month, but I didn't grab that one, even though it's on the list. It's super cute though. It's all these different like haunted houses and witch houses, and they have different, you know, the signs say really fun things. And I think I've done about half of those blocks too. And I usually do 1, maybe 2 every year. And eventually, this is how all my projects are. I do 1 or 2 blocks each season. And someday in about 10 years, I will have 10 new quilts because they'll all get done at the same time. Oh well. That's okay. The other one, I don't have that one in here either. Oh, I do. Halloween Camper, which I'll show them now, and I won't show them later. These Halloween Campers by Crabapple Hill as well. I think my sister and I chose about 6 of them, and then we also chose, I'll pull this out. Sorry for the plastic sounds. We're kind of merging a couple different patterns. This one, which is just too cool. It is so much fun. Like the quilt show, the different quilts and the details in the roof. I love that, and I don't know, it's so fun. It reminds me of the Sisters Quilt Show, because that's how they do it. They just hang them on the buildings outside. It's an outdoor quilt show. Absolutely incredible. Anyways, so we're gonna stitch all the blocks, and then we're gonna design a quilt of our own with our stitched blocks. So, you know, we'll be 50 when we finish it, but that's okay. I think we've both done 2 trailers. So again, we usually stitch 1 a year. Right, there's a good spot. Okay, so I'll try to fit in some time for those 2 embroidery ones, and then I have 1 more embroidery. So I have a new one, which is not actually on my list because I just decided to do it yesterday. I bought this first pattern last year. Let's see if I can, here, I'll take out the plastic. Sorry again for a plastic sound, but it just will show better not in the sleeve. So this was a block of the month Crabapple Hill Studio ran last year, and it is so cute. I'm so shaky. I'm always shaky. I love it. I think it's really fun. And so I bought the first one last year thinking I would do it alongside them, and then it just didn't happen. And that's okay, because this year I'm actually ready for it. And I found a really cute background which is from that fig tree line, the new fig tree Halloween, but the black dots instead of the gray, which I think will be really sweet. They used a green polka dot in theirs, and so it's a nod to what they did without being matchy, which I always love. Yeah, so I'll probably cut out all of the blocks, and then I'll just start with A. I don't have the other patterns yet. I'll just buy them as I do them. And if I ever get to the point where it's taking longer than planned, I'll buy the rest of the patterns so I don't get halfway through the quilt and then they're discontinued, because that would be terrible. That would be sad. Anyways, yeah. It's nice how they did it. It's a digital pattern, and I just was able to download it and print it off. So I love Crabapple Hill designs. You will see later if you stick through to the pattern parade. We'll call it the pattern parade in honor of my floss tube anniversary. It's just the quilting bee version. Instead of a whip parade, it's a Crabapple Hill pattern parade. Anyways, you'll see I have many of their designs, and I definitely, she is prolific. That woman designs beautiful things every year. And so there's always something new that, I ogle from time to time. So that'll be really fun. I'll try to get at least the first block colored and stitched this year. And that's the one I was thinking that, I'm completely at the beginning of this. So I could, if you're interested, if you would be interested, please let me know, because I won't do it if there's not interest in it. But if you would like to see how I do my tracing and coloring, I would be happy to try to share that with you, and kind of just chatter my way through it, and hopefully it will answer any questions you have. So let me know if you're interested in that. If I don't get enough traction on it, I won't do it, and I'll just show you as I reach different stages on it, but in the normal videos. Okay, so then here is my new start for this fall. This is a pattern, wherever it's hiding. Oh heavens. You try to be organized, and then life laughs. Oh, it's right here. It fell off. Okay, I was more organized than I thought. I'll show this part, because I've already been playing in the pattern. And so this is it. It's called The Ghost Quilt by Modern Holiday Quilt Collection. Is that who actually? Then Came June is the actual designer. This is just their collection of holiday quilts. They've got really cute Christmas ones and different seasons, Valentine's Day. Then Came June. They have an Instagram page, it looks like. I'm pretty sure I follow it. Yeah, I think I do. Anyways, it's super cute. I've had it in my collection for 2 or 3 years, and I have been hunting for the perfect background fabric. I didn't want to do gray, though I think it's adorable. And I've seen a lot of different versions. For a while I was hunting, there was this kind of poison green that somebody had done, and it was really cool. It was really cool. And so I thought I would do that, but I've never found the perfect, what I have in my head on fabric. That can be a hunt sometimes. But then as I've gotten into doing kind of low volume touches into quilts, I got the idea, oh my goodness, it would be so cute to do low volume ghosts. So white with little Halloween motifs, and then a fun background. So that's the direction I've gone with it. I picked this really great purple because, I don't know about you, but I love purple at Halloween time. Purple's always been one of my favorite colors, and so mixing that with the orange and the black and the green, and it just, I don't know, it all comes together really cute. So I chose a purple, which will be really fun, great big contrast. And then I have collected low volumes that are Halloween specific for the most part. Oh my goodness, how can I do this? How about I just show you these? So we've got little candies and little squares, Kitter cats. This one, cute little seasonal dots, little stars, a little fig tree. And I intentionally threw, like, that's a very different vibe from like the candy, right? But I intentionally threw that in because I want them to connect with my other projects I've either done or I am doing, so that someday it's all, if 3 quilts wound up in my living room, it would all be different but connect, you know? So I'm throwing some of those in intentionally to create that connection. I love this one. Those ones are sparkly, which I don't normally go for sparkly because it usually falls off, but it was really cute fabric. I love this one. Anyway, so those will be my ghosts. There will be 2 of each one, and then 1 lucky fabric, maybe that one, will get a 3rd ghost, because there are 25 ghosts total. I'm not making this one bigger because who needs a giant Halloween quilt? This is going on a chair or a couch or something, just something fun. And then this will be the eyes. So that's the plan. I will be working on getting that cut out. This will be a big prepping month, because then the hope is that I can just kind of power through. I think the production of these will go really quickly. And obviously this won't be something that I can use this year because I'm just too spread out in my projects. But that's okay. I mean, I like to work on my projects in season as much as I like to have them out for display and use. So that'll be really fun. Fun to have a machine project for the season, other than Halloween fig, which is, you know, that's great too. Okay, so then the last 2, I think I will try to start plotting out my baker's dozen. Since I finished one Jen Kingwell, again, there's a Jen Kingwell hole in my life. So I already have the fabric picked out for this. This is going to be done in 1800s reproductions. And I showed them maybe February's video, something like that. Anyway, I've had them pulled for quite a while, and they're the perfect colors for fall. So I am ready to start kind of plotting that out. They take a lot of, Jen Kingwell projects take a lot of thinking, but it's good. It's all fun, creative thinking. So I think I'm going to dive into that. We'll see where that takes me. I don't know that I'll actually sew anything this month, but I'll just get my head around the project. I did already, oh, I didn't. Well, I've looked through the pattern book, and somewhere I wrote down, I'll have to try to find it. Somewhere I wrote down, like how many of each block I need, and kind of a timeline for getting those done. In a perfect world, I'm making it for someone and I would have it ready for their birthday or Christmas. Not this year's Christmas, next year's Christmas. in a perfect world. We'll see how it goes. It took me a couple years to do my last Jen Kingwell, but not when I focused on it. So, I don't know. We'll see. Okay, the last thing I'm working on is out of season, but that's okay. It's mostly been prep work at this point. Bring my box down. This is how I keep my projects organized. And it's Christmas. I call it my Christmas Dresden, but it's officially called Stars Above. Another online pattern by Megan Collins. And it's super cute, even in my washed out printed copy. But I wrote it down. At So Merry Happy on Instagram did hers Christmas style. So, and she did like modern Christmas colors. So red, green, pink, some aqua, and she did those colors here, low volumes in the back, white stars, low volume stars, and then this really great red for behind the stars. And I fell in love with it. It's why I bought the pattern. And so I have made my own version of it that will kind of fit my decor, because I love the modern Christmas colors, but I haven't really decorated with them. I've stayed pretty traditional, though I'm leaning brighter in the traditional. So here's my low volumes for my backgrounds, and here's my red. And I started making my color sheet after after I cut out my Dresdens. So I am not entirely sure, or if at this point I will actually make a color chart for them, because I'm pretty deep into it. I have everything but some of the background arches, like the real backgrounds, cut out. And I've had to go out and buy a few more low volumes because it takes a bigger piece to get that arch. It's this arch out. So that's what I need. I have 92 cut so far. But I need like 100 and something. So I went out and I've collected a few more pieces, and I'll get going on that. But then once those are cut out, it is completely cut out and ready to sew. So I've got, here's my greens. So it's really like the whole gamut of greens. I've got a little bit of aqua in there, but they really connect to the other greens nicely. And then my reds follow this trend. So like I said, brighter, but also with some more traditional reds in there. So when I started quilting, I was very traditional. I did throw some pink in there. Look at me. I forgot about that. See, this is why I need a color page. Oh my goodness. Here are my foundation pieces for the stars. And I've got all of those cut out, and then you saw my red that will be behind them. So, I mean, I'm really ready to rock and roll on this one anytime. And I don't know that I'm going to make a goal of having it done by Christmas, but if it went really fast, it could happen, right? It could totally happen. I don't have, I'm making it not bed-sized, but big enough that it will look good draped over a bed. I don't have any festivity in my room. I don't know. I don't need my house to be Better Homes and Garden by any means, but I definitely put twinkle lights everywhere in my house at Christmas time, so why not have a little Christmas quilt on my bed? I think that would be really, really fun. So that's kind of what my idea is there with that. So out of season, I will be working on Christmas. So I've got Halloween and Christmas. I don't really have anything autumn because I'm kind of set right now in those. And I'm hoping my Long Time Gone will kind of be a nod to those autumn colors, so I can kind of drape that somewhere too, at least for this year. I do have a quilt that is like falling leaves. Oh, and that would be so amazing in batiks. Maybe next year. This year, we're just going to settle on what I had. Yeah, that's the game. That's all I've got to share with you as far as like what I've done and what plans I have. I was really controlled in my cross-stitch shopping and really not controlled in my quilting shopping, so I guess it's good that it kind of balanced out that way. Yeah, so I'm going to do my little pattern parade, impromptu. And first, so if you're going to head off here, thank you so much for watching. I love sharing my quilting with you. I've never I don't know. It's just really fun. It's really fun. And I find it really stimulating. I get ideas even as I'm sitting here talking to you. So it's a good way to kind of bounce things around. I love my husband, but he's not that interested. So it's good to have friends to chat crafty things with. So thanks for watching. I hope you'll come back. I'll definitely do another video in a few weeks. I don't know if I'll do an end of September or if I'll just wait till the start of October. We'll just kind of see how things roll out. But I'll definitely be back. And anyways, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. And if you're gonna stay with me, this will be fun. So as I was digging around trying to collect all of my Crabapple Hill, I first of all discovered that I need to work on my pattern storage. I mean, they're all safe and they all have places, but they're in like 5 different places. I've got stuff in my closet. I've got stuff on the upper shelf in my closet. I've got stuff on my shelves. I've got stuff on my shelves. It's crazy trying to pull things together. So I need to get some more of those. I really like the little metal file boxes. Those work out really well, and I could do like, you know, K Facet, Crabapple Hill, blah 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 blah. For the loose patterns, because I've got them in weird. Like I know where things are. I knew where to look, but like things I've completed, I tuck into a certain spot, and some things were with project boxes, and I don't know. It was just a thing. Something to improve on to make things easier to find. But it was kind of kismet. As I was digging around, I found a treasure. That I have not seen in 25 years. Literally. Maybe longer. It's an old project. It's one of my first. And so I thought I would just share it with you, since I'm going to share other embroidery patterns, because first of all, it was a really fun project as a kid who was interested in getting into doing what my mom and my grandma were doing. And I'd done a couple of small scale embroidery projects at that point. I think my first one, I was like 6 when I was doing it. I'm trying to remember. It was a little lamb. It hung on my grandma's sewing room. I don't know where that wound up, actually. Anyways, doesn't matter. But that was my very first embroidery, and I was very young, very, very young when I did it. So as I got closer to like 8 years old, you know, I wanted to do something bigger, something, oh my gosh, I've got something in my eye. And my mom had done, when she was a little girl, this quilt. It was the blue quilt. It had blue sashing, like sky blue sashing. And she had taken color book pages, and her favorite color book pages, and traced the lines, and then stitched over the lines for this quilt. And she just did line stitching. It was just a running stitch. Not a running stitch. Yes, just a running stitch. And it was lovely, and it held up really well. She took care of it, but I remember specifically being like, Mom, I want to make a quilt like yours. But pretty much all of my color books were either Precious Moments or Disney. Yep. And so I found, oh my gosh, this is so funny. I don't know, you guys might not even care about this, but I found the project as far as I had gotten, and I'm going to have to pull it out and keep working on it, because this is just too good. I did 2 blocks. So here's my plan. My little 8-year-old, or however old I was, plan. I have a chart. M was Mickey Mouse, and the spelling on this, you guys, it's hilarious. Some of them are pretty good, but Pocahontas, Pock, O, Haunt, is. Kids are awesome. Okay. Anyway, so this is my plan, and I had a layout for where I wanted everything. I had my key, and which I even labeled key, and my layout, and then I have my dissected coloring books, Muppets, Disney, Charlotte's Web. Oh, they're so fun. And I have all of my blocks. So I'd used the pink transfer lines on paper. And then, I mean, it's old school. This is not how I would do it today, but this is, and then I ironed it, iron on transfer basically. They're ready to go as far as that is. But I did 2 blocks, and so I just wanted to share those with you, apparently along with the history, because it's just kind of fun. I was coloring them, and so you can see color crayon sticks. After you press it, there's no wax, it's just the color transfer, and you can see this is not high quality cotton, you guys. And I did not do any backing fabric, which I normally do now to hide threads and stuff like that. But, you know, I was young, and I'm sure my mom knew I would get 2 blocks into this and fall off the wagon. Anyway, so here's a Mulan one. And my stitching wasn't terrible. I don't know if you can see it. It's not show quality, but it's pretty darn good for how young I was. And here's Pluto. Oh, I don't know. I just find it's just fun. So anyways, one of these days I'll have to pull out these blocks and actually color and stitch the rest of them. And I don't know. I don't know what I'll do with it, but kind of a fun treasure to find in my little bag here. Oh man, memories. Memory lane. The starts of an obsession are right here in this folder. The stars were the ones I wanted to do, by the way, from the magazines. Not magazines, the color books. It was my version of a magazine at the time. That got totally mangled. I'll fix it later. Okay, anyways, thank you for indulging me. Kind of fun. So, Crabapple Hill. I'll go through them pretty quickly because, I mean, you can look at most of these on, some of them are older, but most of them are still available through her website, and she'll have better pictures of them anyways. But I just thought it'd be fun to share. So here we go. Crabapple Hill, make hockey. Ruth and Sophie project bags. I made this one, and it was so much fun to do. I did it with, actually, it was my first exposure to Gentle Arts floss, and you can totally use it for embroidery, no reason not to. It was beautiful. It used to hang on my, just one second. There we go. Used to hang on my door. But a little bit of coloring and beautiful floss, and there she goes. Yeah, fun little bag. I used to use it as like a Bible bag for church. Anyways, fun project. This one I just finished this year, at least the assembly of it. I finished the embroidery a couple years ago, but Sunflower Stitchery folder, which is like a tri-fold open project folder. And that one's really fun. I loved doing this one. This one went really fast. Stitching makes me happy. Super cute. It's just kind of fun to do little pattern show and tells, isn't it? Because it kind of shows you, sometimes people will pick up things. I stitched this one for my mom. And it looks like I had prepped to do one for myself, but gosh, I hand basted it. Crazy kid. Anyways, but I never got around to doing it for myself because I already made one. But it's fun to see what other people will do, because sometimes people will pull something that you might not have noticed or been drawn to initially, but it kind of gives you this is Halloween pillows. These were so fun to do. They were so fun to do. I love my Halloween pillows. They usually sit on my piano bench. I have a spare piano bench that doesn't fit my piano that I put in my entryway as like a put your shoes on kind of bench. And that's where I put some of my seasonal pillows. Anyways, it's fun to see what other people have done and just kind of get exposure to different things. I like how it took me like 4 interruptions to actually say my thought there. This one's lovely. I finished the pillow years ago, but I never stuffed it. I should make that happen. Okay, this is what I'm currently working on. It's the snow globes, and they're really cute. They're really cute. And I think I've only completed 1 or 2 of them. This one is ready to go this year. And it's one of those ones, I've just done 1 a year. I think I have 4 winter or Christmas embroidery patterns in the works right now. So I typically do 1 of each pattern every season if I'm stitching a lot. This is my oldest Crabapple Hill, and the picture is so terrible. I hate to say it, but even in person, it's hard to see. It's just one of her older patterns, and her photography has gotten a lot better than it used to be. But this one's tough to see, but it's so cute. It's an alphabet, and I have 60% of these, 70% of these done. Just a couple of the big ones left to do. But that one's really fun. And I'm going to finish mine differently. They have a fly stitch through in between each block. I don't think I'm going to do that. I've debated whether or not to do a little sashing in between, like a 1/2 inch or 1 inch sashing in between them, because I don't want it to be huge. It's pretty tall. Potentially rearranging them if it wound up being too tall, adding that in. Anyways, just some little ideas. And I'm not going to go aqua on the outside. I'll stick more traditional. Maybe a green or something. But super cute, really fun. The blocks are really fun to do. This one I haven't started yet. I've got my background fabric. Over the river and through the woods. But I've seen this one made up, and it's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And I think I'll go more blues around it instead of blacks to make it more wintry. Whenever I do it. That idea hasn't changed, though. As long as I've had it in my stash, it's like that's always kind of been the plan. So I don't think it'll change. Another old one, Winter Wonderland. But it's so cute. I think I started this around the same time I started the alphabet. And this is actually my copy of it, my working copy, because I'll make marks and stuff on my things. And I make copies to put into my binder when I'm actively working on them. And I have maybe 2 of these done. But I've done some of the stars. So, I'm all over the place. Oh, I love this one. It's got a big X through it because I was tracking. I've actually done the whole top row. So I'm a third of the way done with the blocks. This is the gingerbread square. I'll just flip through a couple of these really quick because even with the glare, they're really cute. And I used to make a gingerbread house every year with my grandma, my dad's mom. And so this evokes really sweet memories. It's really fun to stitch on because it makes me think of happy times. And it was so fun. We had such an evolution of our gingerbreads. We have some pictures from the first year we did them together, and our frosting didn't set, and so they were just falling apart, and we had to make like 3 different kinds of frosting before we finally got a good combination that held. And I Anyways, so by the time we got our little tiny gingerbread houses done, we were ecstatic. Fun. Let's see. Yes. A Gardener's Alphabet is one of my favorites. I have done A through H, or D, excuse me. I'm almost done with E. I was stitching this with my mom, and I have decided I'm just leaving her in the dust because she's been a slow poke. And I already have my border. It's a really pretty green with floral elements to it, so it'll stay really fresh, and I love this one. Again, she does stitched borders. I don't know. This one I might do it on. Haven't decided yet. We'll see. It's just such a commitment to do all of those. Oh, you've already seen the trailers. It's such a commitment to do all the embroidery and then to be like, okay, now I'm going to assemble it and stitch in between all of these blocks. I don't know. But it's sure a pretty finish. Okay, here's some small ones. I love this one. This would be such a pretty pillow. It's called Robin's Nest Heart. Reading backwards. Farm Stand Bouquet. I love this one. I even love the blocks around it. I can't think of what those are called. Doesn't matter. Anyways, they're cute. Sawtooth? No. Anyways, doesn't matter. I like the little quilt. I think that would be a really pretty, like in an entryway or in a kitchen, even if you had a good wall space in your kitchen. I did the winter one of these pillows, and then I love it so much that I went out and bought, here's spring, here's summer, and somewhere I thought I had autumn, but apparently it's lost in one of the 5 places. But they're so cute. They stitch up super quick because really it's just the line, and like this one looks like it has some French knots or something as decoration, but I don't think I even did that on my winter one. I think the fabric was just pretty and I did that, really cute. I loved the finish of that. So someday I'll have one for every season if I ever find my autumn one. I can always go buy it again. This is an older one, an embroiderer's blessing. I always thought it'd be cute on a bag or something like that. It says, may your stitches be even, the back neat and tidy, your threads never tangled, and may you always see well enough to thread your needle. And, that's real. My eyes get worse every year. I love this. This is so cute. Again, I thought this would be really cute. Appliqued onto, I have some Yazzie project bags for my wool projects, and it would be fun to have an embroidery Yazzie bag, and that would be really cute on it. If I didn't do that, I actually bought one that's designed for the Yazzie bags, which if you don't know what the Yazzie bags are, they're fabulous. I'd always wanted one, and then my father-in-law spoiled me one year with one for my birthday, and it's like a briefcase of goodness. It's got little pouches and stuff, and one day when we do a wool applique episode or something, I'll show it because it's awesome. They're great. Pumpkins. So cute. So cute. And wouldn't that look cute with the little skeleton dudes? This one I could not find to save my life. The cover picture, it's got to be in a binder somewhere. But it's called Hooterville. And it's owls. They're awesome. And I'm changing the color palette. Theirs was very like pink, orange, brown, black. I mean, almost Halloween feeling, but with blues and stuff in there, so it wasn't Halloween. And I'm going more purple, mauve, navy, I don't know. It'll be pretty. Someday. I haven't made that one a focus in a while. I got that one block started, and then I think the season switched or something like that, and so I completely beelined for that. Okay, last couple. This one I bought at the same time I did the sunflower pouch, and I thought, oh, this is so pretty. I think I would make it into something else. I'm not really going to carry around a strapped bag or anything, though I suppose you could just omit the strap and keep it as a fold or a bag or something. But I love the embroidery. You could even just do this as a center panel and do some small pieced blocks, kind of like she'd done on the other ones. That would be a really pretty finish too. Again, flower explosion. I love it. Okay, and my last one, I don't have a full page. It looks like I don't have the assembly pattern for it yet, but it's called Girls Get Away. And it's just fresh and lovely. And doesn't everybody want to go on a girls trip like this? This would be so fun, glamping out with your girlfriends with flowers and good food and comfortable things you're stitching. Anyways, it's a really sweet project. I already have some of my piecing fabrics selected, stashed away so they don't get used in something else. And one day I'll pick that up, sometime in the spring probably. Not necessarily next year, but it's a very springy, summery, bright and happy project. So that's what I have, my giant Crabapple Hill collection that I've gathered literally over the last 15 years because she's been around for a long time, and like I said, she just keeps making wonderful things. So every year I add a pattern or two to my collection, and this year it was the Halloween alphabet. So yay, that's it. That's all I've got for you. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for coming along with me. It's fun to go through things, and I say that every single time. I feel like a broken record. I need to find another tagline for the end. Do you like my shirt? It says keep going, and at the bottom it says just to see what happens. Oh, I think it's funny. Anyways, I hope you're well. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you soon. Take care, my friends. Bye-bye.